Hey guys, so we've done about 54 miles and the chain is slack, so I thought we'd get the little Ducati instruction book out and just read up on how to adjust the chain. It's on an eccentric these days rather than the old swing arm style from my days where you had to you just loosened the axle bolt and spindle and just adjusted each side to pull the whole wheel back, and yeah, not quite as simple as I was hoping, but strangely they tell you in the book that you should have the chain adjusted by a Ducati dealer and obviously find the tightest point of the chain by spinning the wheel around, and the distance between the top of the triangle cutout, which is just here, and the centre pin, I'm going to move it, is 9 to 11 mil, so it's pretty much the centre of the pin to the top of the cutout, 9 to 11 mil, which is great. Mine wasn't, it was much slacker than that. And then they don't tell you how to adjust it. So what sort of book is that? This is the owner's manual, and they don't tell you how to adjust the chain. I mean, how bloody stupid can you get? So they think I'm going to drive over to the local Ducati dealer of 54 miles to find out how to adjust the chain. Ridiculous. Anyway, quick look on YouTube, and there are two. I'm just going to try and do this. Let's get the light in here. So you can see there, 1, 2, these are 10 mil hex bolts, and they need to be loosened off, very loose. Get them really loose, and then we'll look through the sprocket here. You will see, if I can get the light just right, a tooth. It's basically an adjustment sprocket. You can see the tooth cut out. Just going to take the light away and point it out just in there. I don't think we'll be able to see it very easily. Like this. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but it's basically that ring just behind the sprocket. You need to rotate it. No doubt there is a special Ducati tool like a C spanner for adjusting that, but I've had to stick a screwdriver in. There you can see the adjustment through there. You can see that tooth cut out. I've literally had to get a flat bladed screwdriver in there and give it a tap with a hammer and monitor the tension through here. And although the adjustment is supposed to be done with the side stand down, that's not exactly convenient because the bike's leant right over and makes the whole thing a little bit harder. The guys on YouTube that I've seen say doing it on a paddock stand makes absolutely no difference, and we're going to find out in a minute when the bike is put on the side stand. We'll check the measurements again. But yeah, fancy not telling you how to adjust the chain in a user's manual. It's not like it's a twice a year setting. But anyway, so once you've got the adjustment correct, you can go ahead and just nip up those two 10 mil hex bolts. So you've got no chance of doing it with a hex wrench. You will need to buy a hex bit for your socket set. In this case it was a 1/2 inch, so you can use whatever wrenches and adapters are required. A couple of tips: make sure you cover the wheel. Pop something over the wheel because it's very likely you're going to drop the wrench or the bit, or just ding the edge around here with something. I used a quite short wrench and just can get in there without doing any with any harm. So that was that. I did also buy the chain monkey. This was from Amazon, as pretty much everything is that I buy these days. The only issue is, if you look at the adjustment range, we have on the Diavel a 15mm chain, so it's this box here. The adjustment, as I said, was 9 to 11mm, but the zero setting is for 13 to 24. So what you do is line up the bottom of that nut with the markings on the chain monkey, but because it starts at too great a distance, you've kind of got to guess a bit as to which setting or where that nut needs to be, and I suspect the best way is to just do it by hand once, and then adjust the chain monkey to suit what you've just adjusted, and it's you set that position by moving this rubber washer. It's a little bit tricky with one hand and a bit of grease on my fingers. So you would position the nut in the correct place, and once that's correct, just tighten that up. So the next time you use it, and the chain monkey will just go in there and hook over the chain. It's a bit tight, and the centre of a link needs to be sat on top there, but you can actually use this. It will go in just. You've got to watch that this is not hitting the cover. Oh, it's not a cover, it's an integral part of the frame. It's metal, it's not plastic, so it can just start to hit under here as you do it up, but you can use it. But to be honest, sliding in a steel rule also goes in here, and that might be easier. You just need to pull down on the chain, let it go, and then measure the centre of the pin. I'm covering the light up to the top, and 9 to 11mm. I've got it on a slightly slacker part of the chain at the moment, because I've spun the wheel around cleaning that rear wheel up. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to have to see what special tool is available, because you are definitely going to be damaging the little teeth in here by whacking it with a hammer. You can see one in there and another one in there. So there's got to be some sort of C-spanner that will go in there that makes it easier, so we'll have to do a little search for one of those. So it's just a matter of a little bit of lube on there now, and we're good to go again for a little bit longer. Should have been riding and recording today, but it's raining, and I've got no intentions of taking this out in the rain at all. So anyway, that's just a quick look at the chain adjustment on this 2016 Diavel. Would have been nice if it was in the manual, but it's fairly straightforward to work out. Catch you later.